I had a Devlog 3 script written and ready, but I found it wasn't that interesting, so I decided to make something a little different. Currently, I've been developing and polishing the mechanics and adding more props and art to the game. But what I want to focus on today is lighting. While going into this project, and actually up until not that long ago, I didn't really understand lighting in Unreal. I knew that there were static, stationary and movable lights and objects, but I had found that if I just set everything to movable, my frame rate got better, so I didn't think much of it. I knew what each of them did, but I didn't understand why you would use the different mobilities when, if everything was set to movable, the game would be running fine. That was until I was getting feedback from one of my playtesters who work in the gaming industry. I had been told many times to bake my lighting, but I got so much light bleed and horrendous FPS when I tried, I always just ignored it. I thought my game was running fine, so why would I change anything? However, not baking the lights brought up a couple of issues. The shadows were so dark, making the game have very high contrast between light and dark areas, which just looked strange. And also this. Russell's range was using 97% of my friend's GPU resources. This is not okay. So over the past week, I was trying to understand lighting in Unreal, and I found out a lot. So in this video, I hope to teach you something or clear up anything that I found wasn't very obvious. The way Unreal works is that it creates a light map on any object which is set to static mobility, and that was very important. I made the mistake of trying to bake light maps onto my actors which were pretty much all set to movable. This led me down a spiral of pain, as I was trying to figure out why my lights were literally passing straight through some of the objects, looking absolutely terrible, and also destroying my FPS. However, just the other day, I decided to take a step back and ask Google, why the hell are all my actors light brown? After figuring out why, and then starting to bake my stationary lights, that is when it all started to come together. Now areas are looking much more beautiful than they were, with a lot more realistic shadows and light intensity fall off. My best advice is to not just take a shortcut and make sure that everything that will not move in the scene will be set to static, and do not make the same mistake as I did, setting everything to movable. So, what can you expect over the next couple of weeks? The version I will be releasing will be primarily for you to have fun and play, but also for me to get more feedback and be able to shape the final game better. It is a lot harder than the night 1 will be in the real game, but this is just to showcase what a night feels like. Pacing of the game will change when the full version comes out too. All I have to do now is to fix all the lighting issues that are left, and make sure the optimization of the game is to a high enough standard. Then, the next hurdle is getting the Steam page up and having Russell's range reviewed by Steam, which might add an extra bit of time until release. However, I will keep you all updated mostly through shorts, and I have also been researching and getting to know how to develop a Kickstarter campaign, so that has not been forgotten about either. I am working as hard as I can on this project every single day, so one thing I can assure you is that the game will be out as soon as possible.